Time isn't precious at all because it is an illusion. This is a quote from Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, and today I want to discuss his teachings in this book about psychological time and clock time. Psychological time. When we think about the past, what we are actually doing is reactivating stored memories of other moments in time. And when we think about the future, we are simply projecting our mind with our imagination of other now moments into the future. When we think about both the past and the future, we do it in a single now moment. In order to really grasp this teaching, we need to understand that there is never a time when we are living in anything other than the current moment itself. We have never and will never experience anything other than the moment that is unfolding right in front of our eyes at any given time. Psychological time causes great pain when we find ourselves constantly yo-yoing between this illusory past and future unnecessarily. Therefore, learning to live in the moment where reality truly unfolds, we experience a life that is not enslaved by the mind and its illusion of time. All negativity is caused by an accumulation of psychological time and denial of the present moment. Unease, anxiety, tension, stress, worry, all forms of fear are caused by too much future and not enough present. Guilt, regret, resentment, grievances, sadness, bitterness, and all forms of non-forgiveness are caused by too much past and not enough present. So since living in psychological time causes so much havoc in our life, we may choose to let go of unnecessarily thinking about the past and the future. And if you're wondering, it doesn't impair our ability to function with practical tasks on a day-to-day basis. In fact, it actually allows for more functionality. Clock time. Clock time governs progress in life, organizing events in a linear sequence. Now, when we get into deeper truths, this too is an illusion, but within the human experience, we experience clock time, and it allows for practicality in life. We make our appointments, we set our goals, we build knowledge, we heal, and importantly, we learn from the past to refrain from repeatedly making the same mistakes. However, we make appointments, attend appointments, and apply our lessons and set our goals all in the now. Setting a goal and working towards it is utilizing clock time, but dwelling on such goals with thoughts of self-criticism and possible outcomes is psychological time. Getting overly focused on our goal and seeking some kind of fulfillment or sense of self from this goal means that we have become lost in psychological time. We are focused on this illusory future and we are totally disregarding the reality that is unfolding right before our eyes. The enlightened person's main focus of attention is always now, but they are still peripherally aware of time. In other words, they use clock time but are free of psychological time. Living in psychological time. Consider nature. It moves effortlessly through life in the present moment without the regrets or anxieties of psychological time. Nature uses clock time to learn and evolve, but it doesn't dwell on a past or fixate on a future. When we live in psychological time, we often get caught up in this idea of chasing something in the future. Many live their whole lives just as a means to an end, saying things like, I'll be happy when, or I'll relax when. And you see, the thing is that we achieve something and then we just obsess about the next thing. We want what we can't have, and then when we get it, we want something else. We also fixate on our goals so much that we end up being paralyzed by our fears of failure and we miss the experience in front of us. We also get preoccupied with a dead and gone past, stuck in nostalgic memories of moments once had, replaying past moments over and over. When we live in psychological time, we miss the sound of the wind in the trees, the smell of the flowers, and we miss the uniqueness and wonder contained within any given moment. Eckhart refers to psychological time as being a mental disease, which sounds kind of extreme, but when you think about the amount of people that have been killed over the years in war due to an imagined future, then you can kind of see the insanity within it. The realization of psychological time calls for a shift in consciousness. And this is done through living more in the present moment and making it a practice to constantly direct our attention away from past and future whenever it is not necessary. Developing an ability to watch our thoughts will enable us to more easily wake up from psychological time and redirect ourselves back into the present moment. For more information on this, see my videos titled Witness Consciousness. Of course, it is much easier to comprehend this teaching than to actually live it. But with persistent practice and heartfelt intention, we actually find that this perpetual living in psychological time begins to gradually fall away, and we instead find ourselves living more presently. Who am I? When we are in the moment, the story of me and my past and future dissolves. Psychological time is linked to a false sense of identity. We think thoughts about the past and the future, and we believe these thoughts simply because we think we are them. To find freedom from the mind and become the master of it, we must disidentify from our thoughts and realize that we are not them. Eckhart teaches that in order to really wake up from thought and recognize what we are beyond it, then we must begin to end the delusion of time through, yes, learning to observe our thoughts and coming back to the present moment. You see, in doing this, what happens is that we really move beyond psychological time, and we move beyond this false sense of self. In doing so, we really settle into our true essence that is ultimately timeless. Time is what keeps the light from reaching us. There is no greater obstacle to God than time. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name's Jasmine. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. I will be covering more of Eckhart's teachings in the future, and I also want to mention that I'm offering free one-on-one video calls with me. If you want to chat, then yeah, just check out the link below. So thank you so much, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye 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 bye.